Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 26 of the Make It Rain podcast. We got a good one in store for you guys today. A 4-game week for the Ontario Reign. We got to you right here, right now. Here we go. We're going to run this on forever now. Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 26 of the Make It Rain podcast. Let's get into the Zamboni cleaning. The first things first, alongside Joe O'Regan is Mayor's Manor very own Anthony Collazo. How are we, Anthony?
Joe, everybody watching the pod. I'm good, man, and we are moving on from the hockey news. I'm now with Mayor's Manor, John Hovind, LA Kings website, and man, I couldn't be more excited. Already gotten going with that a little bit, but to finish the year with Mayor's Manor and to cover the Reign for that publication in the foreseeable future, it's super exciting.
There you go. I mean, nice to be moving on, right?
Nice to be moving on.
Moving on,
sure.
Moving up, if you want to say that.
Yes.
If you want to even say it in regard, moving up is definitely a way to say it. And also, this is episode 26, 52 weeks in a year. 52 divided by 2 is...
26.
This is the half-year anniversary for the Make It Rain podcast. Woo-hoo-hoo. You can play the goal horn if you'd like. Okay, you can turn it off now. Anyways, now let's get into all things Ontario Reign related. And oh my goodness, just had an aneurysm. And obviously, this is all things Los Angeles Kings pipeline related. Now let's get into the Zamboni cleaning. First things first, sort of an order of business. Eric Portillo has been extended on the injured reserve.
Yes, Mayor's Manor. I forgot who the article was written by, but inside sources say that Portillo has suffered a setback kind of deal. He's going to be out for a little while longer. In that same article that came out on Mayor's Manor, Carter George is expected to be in Ontario after the OHL season is over. Unfortunately for Reign fans, Carter George and his OHL team, don't know what team it is if you want to look that up for me, they made the playoffs today. They have made the playoffs, so his destination to Ontario is going to have to wait for the meantime.
The Owen Sound Attack.
Yes, I knew that. I really did. I really didn't know that.
More like Owen Sound Attack, because Owen Sound is the location. Besides the point.
And then
a bit of an ECHL shakeup.
Yeah, some like weird stuff going on in the ECHL.
So, guys that you've probably heard from like this year, Dryden McKay. ECHL stuff, we don't know very much about this, but Dryden McKay is now with Bloomington of the New York Rangers organization. Bryce Brodzinski and Colton Young are at Norfolk now, which is the Winnipeg Jets organization. Mm-hmm. And with Dryden McKay going to Bloomington, Jacob Ingham gets the call and is with Ontario.
Yes, and we are going to see him a couple different times in this week. And, man, he looked surprisingly good this week. So we'll get into that in a little bit.
Anyway, yeah, that's all we got to say on that one. 4 games. Buckle up, strap in. This is going to be a absolute banger of a podcast. We're going to be talking and making it yap for 50 minutes plus probably.
If you haven't yet, grab your popcorn. If you're driving, drive a little bit longer. If you're falling asleep to this podcast,
sorry.
Someone might walk in on you as you're sound asleep and the TV's still on. It's going to be a long one today.
Yeah, it will be a long one. So strap in, dial it in, whatever needs to be said. Get ready for this one. This episode of the Make It Rain podcast is brought to you by Gowdy Law. We know having a game plan is key when it comes to your family's future. Are you ready? Gowdy Law is here to help specialize in estate planning. Gowdy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a ton of money and time to probate when you pass away. Just like on the ice, preparation matters. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play. Visit GowdyLaw.com today to start playing for the future. Get estate planning pricing and a free consultation right on their website. It's literally that simple. The price is right on their website. Gowdy Law, make estate planning easy, understandable, and
acceptable.
Affordable. Close enough. The link is in the description. 4 games, big road trip for the Ontario Reign. kicks off in the Lone Star State. Good old heart of Texas and Austin to take on the Texas Stars.
Yeehaw! We start the 4-game week with a trip to the Lone Star State as the Ontario Reign take on the Texas Stars. In the first, Mehls, Becker, and Luft all score before the period ends. In the second, Copley pulled Ingham in. First time we've seen Ingham since November. The second period will forever be known as the King Charles Houdon era, tallying 2 goals to make it 3-2 entering the third. It was tightly contested third period. The Reign played well, but with the empty net, the Stars scored a pair 5-2. The final.
Remember how we said this was going to be a long podcast? That right there is probably the shortest recap we are going to have this episode.
We got to try to, shorten things up a little bit.
Save some time, folks. That's about it. Let's get into the goals from this game. Mate Blumel to open it up. 1T from the right circle on the power play. Caleb Jones was in the box, and Texas is on the board quickly. They extend their lead. Jack Becker, puck work down low. Hickett's kind of just falls asleep a little bit, turned over, and Jack Becker wide open in the slot. Great pass by Matthew Semenoff. It's 2-0 Texas. Oh, wait, this period is not over yet. Jacob Dvorak took a penalty, so this is 4-on-4, and Kyle Luft scores.
Yeah, off the rebound from Copley, just bounced right back to Luft. One of those plays where the puck just kind of bounces the Stars' way. And this was a brutal one because it was right at the end of the period, 15.6 seconds left, and those always hurt.
Yes.
If you're on the other end of it.
We'll get into that a little bit more in Sunday's game. Ontario Reign do, however, get on the board. It's King Charles Houdon. Great feed by Martin Chromiak. Houdon, backhand, forehand, top shelf. 3-1. Then Reign on the power play. Houdon works this up high. Houdon shoots. Houdon finds space. Houdon scores. And Houdon makes it 3-2. How many times did I just say Houdon in the past 10 seconds? I don't know.
I'll say it one more time. Houdon had way too much space there. I don't know what Texas was doing. He was able to just walk right in.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Rolled out the red carpet, huh? Third period. The net is empty for Ontario. A very costly turnover. And Justin Ritzkovian, I believe that's how it's pronounced, scores. It's 4-2 Texas. And Mate Blumel, the AHL leading goal scorer, if Alex Steves does not have more goals on Toronto. He scores his 33rd of the year, and it goes, or actually, no, it does not go in. However, someone slashed him, so it's a goal regardless because it's an empty net. Yay, Texas scores. 5-2 the final. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Now, Reign get punched. How do the Reign punch back? You'll find that out in game 2. Let's get into this. First period, Ontario Reign, abysmal. Absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, Copley kind of got, the blame for it a little bit. He's the one who got pulled, but the Reign as a whole, just not a great period. Nope. Defensive breakdowns all over the place. And the Reign just have been doing that too much as of late, which is the reason why their record in late February and in this month of March has not been
hovering around 500.
Yeah, not great.
Maybe under 500 for all we know. Excuse me. That's all you need to know about that. The Reign get outshot 15-5 in the first period, and then in the second period decide, you know what, I'm sick of this bull, and outshoot Texas 21-4.
Yeah, at the last 40 minutes, the Reign outplayed Texas, and it was a really good last 40 minutes, but a 3-goal lead against a Texas Stars team who is
in the playoffs
already. Yeah,
they've just clinched the playoffs Sunday night. Them in Milwaukee.
They're just 3-goal lead is too steep of a hill.
Yep.
And Jacob Ingham really kept them in this game.
Yes, that is definitely to be said. Jacob Ingham also kept him in the game on Sunday's game. We'll get into that more when we get to game 4.
You got anything else on game 1?
This game kind of reminds me a little bit, but in a more broader census of game 1 of the Reign last year against the Coachella Valley Firebirds in the Pacific Final. We were both at this game at Acrisure Arena. The Reign played an awesome 58 minutes of hockey. They broke down for 2 minutes. Coachella scores 2 goals, and the game is decided by 1 goal.
Yeah.
This is something playoff hockey needs to be known about. For the people that are watching this, you have to play a complete effort. If you take one shift off, it will bite you in the ass. Period.
Oh, first curse word in Make It
First
Rain
cuss
history.
word in Make It Rain history. It took us half a year. Nice.
Good job, Joe.
Anyways, yeah, thank you. I'm not proud of it.
St. Patty's Day, and then all of a sudden you think that you can just,
Yahoo! Anyways, yeah, Texas wears green. Give me a break. All right. Anyways, that game is over. Game 2. Let's rerun it. Take 2. In Texas, the Reign looked to salvage the mini-series against the Stars. Let's head straight to the middle frame as Taylor Ward strikes first for your Ontario Reign. He makes it 1-0. In the final frame, the third period, nothing happened in the first. Jeff decides, let's score a lot of goals on the power play. It's 2-0 Ontario. Justin Ritzkovian pulls the Stars back within 1. And, oh, God.
Sounds dry.
Joe Ciccone, 4 minutes, high stick. What are we doing? Oh, okay, we're fine. Caleb Jones, first goal as part of the Reign. First of the year. Okay, cool. 3-1. Oh, Glenn Gaudin, 150-footer. 4-1. Game over. Reign win. Nice. Just when you were worried about Joe Ciccone, let's get into this real fast before the goals. Texas Stars. Second in the league in power play. Power play percentage. 0 for 7 in this game.
Yeah, penalty kill came in huge. I mean, and that's the reason why they really won this game, First of all, you can't be going down a man 7 times. So that's an issue of its own. But
Yes.
the fact that the the penalty kill was tested against the number 2 power play in the entire AHL. That's
a
playoff
testament.
hockey right there. Yeah, I mean, you're really going to, when it comes playoff time, you're not going to see a lot of power plays. And when you do, you got to kill them.
Yes.
If you're on the kill. And it's huge when it comes to playoff hockey. And I think when they get to the playoffs, they're not going to have an issue when it comes to their killing. Now, when they're on the main advantage, that might be a different conversation.
Yes.
But they answered the bell when it came to the penalty kill.
Absolutely agree. One thing I want to state in the first period that did happen, Jacob Doty absolutely wrecks Luke Chris into the boards. Gets a 2-minute boarding penalty for it. I honestly thought it should have been 5 because Chris was kind of defenseless. Then Doty gets out the box, and about 4 minutes or so after the penalty ends, him and Alex Petrovich drop the gloves, and Doty proceeds to beat the heck out of him.
Are you surprised?
No.
That's funny.
This is what happens when you play out of division opponents. They don't know about Jacob Doty.
They don't know.
They don't know about Samuel Fagimo. We'll get into that Sunday too. All right, now we can get into the goals. Taylor Ward, first goal for the Ontario Reign, worked down low by Riley Walsh. Walsh feeds the point. Taylor Ward's there, and it gets through traffic. 1-0 Ontario. Quickly into the third period. Okay, sure, if you want to do that. Jeff Malott, once again, Texas rolls out the red carpet. Malott pulls in, pulls it back, and pops it under the glove. It's 2-0 Ontario. Texas, Justin Ritzkovian throws it in front almost, and it just sneaks right by Copley. It's 2-1. We got a game here in Texas. Joe Ciccone commits a high sticking 4 minutes. Power play for the Stars. I almost just said the Rangers. Texas Rangers. Nice. Empty net. Caleb Jones gets it, and at about 175 feet or so, sinks it. Absolute beauty. And then Glenn Gaudin, maybe another 20 feet ahead of him, like about 150 feet or so. And he sinks his. Reign win 4-1, all she wrote, and that's all you need to know about this game.
Pretty impressive how, first of all, Sassoni can't be doing that. Got to control your stick.
Close enough.
I mean, I don't know. I've heard people call him Sassoni too. I don't know. Ciccone. Got to control your stick. Cannot be getting a high stick penalty that late into the game.
Yes.
Almost costed them. But those 2 empty net goals were kind of impressive, especially Caleb Jones's.
Yeah, he kind of just got in, like, looked at 180 feet. Like, he was trying to clear the puck, but he just cleared it into the net.
Yeah.
If there's any other way to put it.
Yeah, talking about Caleb Jones, I mean, the blue line offense, the last 2 were some empty net, shorthanded goals,
Like, cool and all.
But the blue line offense, they played good this game.
Yeah.
They played really good.
You take it out, the Ontario Reign win 2-1, and Phoenix Copley has a great bounce back game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after getting pulled. It's funny because Phoenix Copley had the same exact stat line when
Against
he
the Iowa
got
Wild.
pulled against the Iowa Wild. Yeah, back in January at Toyota Arena. Same exact, like to a T. Same amount of shots.
8 of 11 and gone.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's actually kind of funny. Comes back, answers the bell, has a great game in this game. How many shots did he stop? Was it 30?
30 of 31 in the first star on Wednesday night. You go from getting yanked in the first period to first star the following night.
Super impressive.
That's what a veteran does right there. You flush it, you reset, you go back out there, and you post that performance. Awesome job by Phoenix Copley. Nothing else really needs to be said about that game, unless you've got something.
No, I got nothing at all.
All right, game 3, Reign. Go north to Cornland, Iowa, Des Moines.
Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. Field of Dreams. For the first time since the 2019-2020 season, the Ontario Reign are in the great Midwest state of Iowa. 1 minute into the game, the Chrome Zone comes through in the Hawkeye State. It's 1-0 Reign. But the Wild will be wild as Ben Jones and Travis Boyd give Iowa the lead to end the first. In the second, once again, America's most basic name, Ben Jones, scores another one. It is 3-1 Wild, but have no fear, because the Godfather is here. Glenn Godden cuts the lead in half. It is 3-2 EA Sports. It's in the game. Remember that? Except that it's for the other team. Tyler Madden scores against the Reign. His first goal as a member of the Wild. Of course it was. It is 4-2. The third period, we would see no scoring. And the Wild take game 1 of 2, 4-2.
Very common theme of 4-2 in the first game of each.
Yeah.
In each series. Yeah, Tyler Madden, I guarantee you after he got traded by the Kings, Reign, realistically, I almost feel like he was legally obligated to circle this game in on the calendar.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And you can see it on his face after he scored his goal. He was fired up. I mean, he's always fired up.
Oof you.
He was always fired up, right? But he seemed more fired up after this goal and this entire game, really. His presence on the ice, he created a strong presence, and you can tell that he wanted this game more than any game that I really saw him play this year with the Reign. And that's not even a knock on Tyler Madden. That's just, kind of the nature of the sport of hockey.
Absolutely agree. I mean, he wanted his get back in. Well, let's just say he got his get back.
Yes.
All right, into the scoring. 59 seconds in, your Ontario Reign get on the board. A little bit of a goof by 7. Charles Hudon feeds in front. Chromiak outlasts Halavi, and it's 1-0 Ontario. Ben Jones, most basic name. He scores 1-1. Got it. Thank you. Travis Boyd. I believe this guy was on the Hershey Bears at one point, if I'm not kidding myself here. So this puck gets worked out to center ice. 3-on-2. Great move by Boyd, by the way. Backhand just shovels it right over Copley. And it's 2-1 Iowa. Ben Jones, round 2. Fight! Okay, just kidding. He scores his second goal. This puck is worked down low, still down low, and just wrapped around, and Copley couldn't get a piece of it. Or he did, just got through him. Let's just say that. 3-1. Glenn Godden gets the Reign back within 1. Great forecheck here by Chromiak, and Godden feeds a turnover up high, and Glenn Godden keep the change. Tip in goal. And then Mike Milne. Big rebound. And there's that Tyler Madden guy wide open for the rebound.
Right place, right spot.
Right place, right spot. That is correct. 4-2 Iowa Wild, and they win. Game over.
Travis Boyd did play for the Hershey Bears from 2015 through 2020.
Dang, I'm pretty good at remembering that stuff.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, man.
Yeah, that is.
We were like
young. Got
10.
it. Anyways, yeah, the Reign did not play a good game here. Like, there were so many blunders from the Ontario side of the spectrum.
Yeah, usually Marco Sturm's excuse, if you will, or reason for a loss is, the energy wasn't there and stuff like that. This time in the post game, he said that they didn't stick to the game plan.
Yep.
So super interesting there. I wonder what the game plan was, but they didn't stick to it. And we saw more line shuffles in this game. Atu Yamson got to the first line, and Francesco Pinelli got to the fourth line. It seems like Marco Sturm is really trying to make a name for himself. To maybe, we had known this for a long time now, but to try to get an NHL job.
Yeah.
And I mean, he has made a lot of in-game adjustments this year, which you said at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of this podcast, that he didn't do a lot.
He has lacked that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that's the biggest area of struggle for Marco Sturm. And now he's finally like coming to his senses in a way. If that's even the right way to say it. That's
almost
actually
too much.
That's kind of a rude way to say it, honestly. But he's coming to his senses, and you know what? He's almost doing it too much now. Like, yeah, you do it too little, then you do it too much, then eventually you're gonna find your happy medium because it's in the middle there somewhere.
Newsflash, you did it again next game.
Oh wow. Surprise. Yeah.
He's been doing a lot.
Rain didn't stick to the game plan. That's about all you need to know with this game.
Yeah. On to game 4.
Game 4. How long is the real quick? Just no, stop that. How long is the Rain recap soundtrack?
I have no idea.
Is it more than 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
It's about to probably be a 2.5 minute recap. Here we go. It's time to use the entire Rain recap song as the Rain square up with the Wild one more time to wrap up the road trip. In the opening period, Jeff tells the cashier to keep the change. He tips one home from Joe Ciccone, and it's 1-0 Ontario. About 30 seconds later, the Godfather himself goes top bunk where you keep all your pillows at night, and it's 2-0 Ontario. However, for every action, there's an equal or opposite reaction. Mike Milne gets a penalty shot. Mike Milne, actually, excuse me, gets a penalty shot as Rowe trips him up, and he promptly scores. Absolute silky goal, by the way. 2-1. And with about 4.9 seconds left, Luke Toporowski ties things up, and it's 2-2 heading into the intermission. In the middle frame, Mike Milne, want to see me do it again? He scores again on a breakaway, 3-2 Iowa. But how dare the Iowa Wild on a penalty kill, leaving Fee-Fi Fagemo wide open in the left circle. He tees one up top shelf, and we got a tie game in Des Moines. Gavin Hayne gets Iowa back in front, but Jeff Malott double dips the chip. He scores on the power play, and it's 4-4 through 2 periods. In the third period, Plato, Potato, Fee-Fi Fagemo scores again on the power play, and the Rain have the lead 5-4. Then the Stud Muffin gets a wrist shot through. It's 6-4, and there was the touchdown, and the PAT is good. Glenn Gaudin gets an empty net goal. He double dips the chip. 3 Rain players have 2 goals, and the Rain win and split both series by the final of 7-4. That game felt so close to like the Abbotsford game back in November or something where they won 8-4. Just the Rain could not stop scoring.
Play-Doh, Potato, Fee-Fi Fagemo.
Lakers at 5.
Rain in 5.
That was why I did that. Anyways, goals. We got a lot of them. Here we go. 10 seconds in this video here. Joe Ciccone works it down low. Malott, like a tip through his legs almost.
Yeah, I think it got his leg and it bounced
and it went in. Hey, Rain bounce, 1-0. Cool. Later on, 2-on-1. Chromiak, great feed. Glenn Gaudin, top bunk where you keep your pillows. Top shelf where Mama hides the cookie jar. Top cheese, I don't care. So, Mike Milne. All right, pause real quick. Do you think this was a penalty shot deserving, yes or no? Because he did not have a clear line to the net.
Let's see. He's going towards the net. Luke Rowe is... I mean, it's tough.
That is tough.
I've seen worse.
Yes, that is true.
I've seen worse.
However, he burned Luke Rowe in that instance.
He did. He got around him. He made a nice little stutter-step move right above the circles, and Luke Rowe just... yeah.
And then Milne, tries to fake backhand and goes forehand and just sizes up Ingham and goes right under the blocker. 2-1. And then with 4 seconds left in the first period, it's Luke Toporowski. Great feed by Caden Bankier. Getting this in front, kind of just misses everybody. And Toporowski's like, oh, puck on my stick. Oh, I must score. Just like, I don't even know. Like, Joe Ciccone falls asleep at the wheel here, too. 2-2, whatever. Go to the second period. Mike Milne, breakaway, backhand, forehand, puts Ingham in a blender.
Filthy move.
3-2. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
And then, Fee-Fi Fagemo, everybody. Works up top. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is covering Fagemo. He scores. We're tied. Now, Gavin Hayne. By the way, this is a great save by Ferguson here. Fagemo fed it up front, and Studnicka just robbed by Dylan Ferguson. Now, Gavin Hayne, 12 minutes into the second period. This puck's worked out high, worked down low. Looking, thrown in front and scored.
Yeah, that one was a weird one. I don't think Ingham ever saw it coming.
He kind of got screened and was just like, oh, puck there. Oh, puck behind me.
Yeah, that's a brutal one.
Dang it, Bobby. That one's like, you just got to space yourself out and hope you get a piece of it. Anyways, yeah, common theme here. Teams in the Central Division like rolling out the red carpet to range shooters. Jeff Malott gets, 3 strides to walk in here, sizes one up, it just goes top right corner on the power play. Rain tied up, then, yeah, that Fagemo guy, yeah, he's kind of good. Scores again. Like, just throw, like, it's just thrown in front, puck's loose, and Fagemo scores.
Yeah, the puck was bouncing out in front, just kind of there, and Fagemo comes in, and on the second try,
thank you very much,
puts it in.
Yep. Jack Studnicka scores. This is a great feed by Fagemo, cross ice. Fagemo gets it in stride and goes top shelf. Then the empty netter, a little between the leg feed by Hudon. Gaudin shoots it past everybody. PAT is good. Rain wins 7-4.
Man, what a game. That last empty net goal, I know I glazed the empty netter last time the Rain won. That one was also really nice. Just a nice little in between the legs from Hudon. Their connection, Hudon and Gaudin, has been so silky smooth.
Them third liners, man. I'm telling you, man. Them third liners.
We'll get to the third liners in a little bit when we talk about Chromiak in the Rain weather report. But Jacob Ingham, you're going to look at the box score and
you
say...
You just gave away your 100%.
4 goals. Yeah, but it's all right.
Okay, what are we doing?
Jacob Ingham, 4 goals.
That doesn't tell the story.
It doesn't
that
at
he
all.
played really good. He had a windmill save with like 10 minutes left in the first period. Highway robbery.
Yeah.
Highway robbery. Unreal stop.
He also had a nice pad save about 2 minutes into the game as well.
Yes, he did. Just stopped Iowa on all fronts. He doesn't stop either of those shots. This game is a runaway game from the jump.
Yeah. Power play. Looked really, really, really good this game. 3 for 4.
Plan a parade on Concourse Street, Boulevard, whatever the heck it might be. The Rain went 3 for 4 on the power play.
Now, if I'm not mistaken...
Is this a fever dream?
It's a little bit of a fever dream, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Wild special teams, when it comes to penalty kill, is...
dead last in the American Hockey League.
So, that might be why. but
No, totally not.
But they did it, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because last time, when Iowa came to...
Ontario, they shut him down.
Yeah, so at least this time around they did it. And it's so weird because Fagemo this year has just been shut down on the power play. Everyone's swarming his side so that his 1T isn't there, not available.
And then, weirdly enough, you play a team outside the Pacific Division, and they're like, you know what, we'll give this guy a little bit of space.
Yeah, Fagemo gets all the time in the world, just winds up. I can't believe the Wild did that.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
Yeah, one of the weird things I've seen this season.
Let's just put that in short. Anyways, more line shuffles. Sammy gets bumped to the second line with Lee and Studnicka. Lee, Studnicka, Fagemo. We've brought up the stat before how Fagemo, what do you have, 19 goals with Studnicka and then 2 without him? Or something down that line? This is a stat from like a month and a half ago that he wrote on the Hockey News. Like, I don't remember what this was. I don't remember exactly what it was. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was like 19 goals with Studnicka. Just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So, yeah, that happens. And then 21 points. You get a point. 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 11 players had points in this game. 7 of them had 2 or more.
Yeah, you were pretty right on. Samuel Fagemo, in 30 games played, this was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Fagemo, 19 goals and 7 assists, went on the same line with Stunica, again, in 30 games played. Then, in 13 games played, when he was not on a line with Stunica, he had just 2 goals and 2 assists. So
that was back when he had 21 goals. Now he's got 25. So
yeah, so the offensive
information.
production wasn't there. Then he goes back to a line with Stunica and then scores 2 goals right away.
Awkward.
Kind of weird. And one was on the power play, yes, but you know.
But doesn't matter. He's on there with Stunica regardless.
That is very, very true.
It's like Fagemo and Stunica are like the dynamic duo almost with the Ontario Reign. They are both dynamic in their own ways in scoring the puck.
Yeah, 100%. Stunica is so unbelievably fast. And
flattering.
Fagemo
whatever.
has just an unbelievable shot. And when you put those two on the line together, they're going to wreak havoc.
It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
It's like chocolate and milk.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Oh, I thought you were going to keep going. Anyways, with that being said, that wraps up all 4 games for the Ontario Reign. We tried to make this one a little bit quicker, and I think we did so. We did it in a timely manner.
31 minutes.
Yeah, 31 minutes. That's not bad. We've gone through 2 games in 31 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyways, rain weather report right now. You kind of hinted the 100%. Just go ahead and reiterate it to the people at home.
Martin Kromiak.
Milton.
Now, there were other guys on the team who probably had a better week, but this is more of an appreciation for Martin Kromiak. He has struggled this season, and he may have even played out of the Kings' future this season.
Yeah.
But
he's bounced back a little bit this
week.
Week.
In the last week and a half, he has really bounced back. I wrote in my pregame article before the game on Sunday that he can really redefine his season if he can continue his momentum and play well down the stretch up until the playoffs and then even have a good playoffs. We saw Andre Lee last year, who didn't have a magnificent season with the Reign, had a nice little stretch down the road, went into the playoffs, had a really good playoffs. Next thing you know, he's making the opening night roster.
There you go.
So, you know, Martin Kromiak can really redefine who he is as a player and his future with the Kings if he can just stay consistent. And there's nobody more I would want that for than a guy like Martin Kromiak, who has just been so good in media.
How old is Martin Kromiak?
I think he's 23.
8/20/2002. He's 22.
22. Yeah.
Holy.
So he's so young. He's got time.
Yeah, he spent 4 years with the Ontario Reign. Flashback to the quiz we did. By the way, should have more quizzes coming out eventually. Just hang with us on that bit. Anyways, Martin Kromiak, an assist Tuesday, shutout off the board Wednesday, not even a shot on goal. A goal on Saturday with 3 shots on goal and a 3-assist day. Martin Kromiak, pass first kind of player, I guess.
Yeah.
What in the world?
And Kromiak has looked a lot better when he was thrown on a line with Hudon and Godin, the veterans.
And a +3 also as well. I didn't state that.
And a +3. +3 rain today.
Yeah. This year, I mean, that's a nice change of pace for him. He's been a -8 this year. Oy!
Oy. Yeesh.
Yeah. Yeesh is the correct answer. Shall I get into the 50%?
You may get into the 50%.
I mean, it's kind of been a long time since he's really gotten points or really stood out in the Ontario Reign sort of system, if that's the way to state this. But Glenn Godden's the 50% for me. 4 goals, 2 assists. Glenn Godden kind of back to his November form, as we jokingly say. He's once again back to business. He's just back to business, doing Glenn Godden things.
What an unbelievable pickup Glenn Godden was for this Ontario Reign team. We knew he was going to be good, but the level of production that he is putting up this year is unbelievable. He is going to hit a career high in points in the AHL. All he needs is 2 more in 9 more games.
He's going to do it.
He might get a career high in goals.
Do we have 9 more? No, we don't have 9 left.
Well,
we have 11 left.
Last season, he played because there's 72 games in the season.
Okay, he played 70 with San Diego.
He played 70 with San Diego last year. So
I was about to say, I'm like, we don't have
70
9
games
left.
played. 70 games played, 22 goals, 33 assists, good enough for 55 points last year in San Diego. Currently, 61 games played, 21 goals, 32 assists, 53 points. So he's more than likely Going to
Remember in episode 2 when we said Tyler Madden was on pace for 75 points or something like that?
was it Madden?
Yeah, it was Madden.
Yeesh.
Good Lord, we were wrong.
It's all right.
Hey, you can't be perfect all the time. Godin registered a point in every game this week, an assist on assist on Tuesday, a goal Wednesday, a goal Saturday, and 2 goals and an assist on Sunday. Power play goal and an empty net goal. So, hey, love to see it. And he had an empty net goal against Texas in Wednesday's game as well. Bit of a 155 footer, just an absolute snipe. Just kidding. He just threw it down the ice and it went in the net.
He also has his best rating in his career. So really, this is a career year for Glenn Godin. And even though that
he was a +5 this past week,
and even though that maybe the dream of making the NHL is
behind
probably
him
over. I mean, he's having a great year in the AHL, and he's gonna get himself a nice little contract next year. Is he on a 2-year with the Ring?
Whatever it might be, I have no idea.
1 year, I have no idea.
You could look this up, probably just find it somewhere on the website. It's got to be there.
Probably on Elite Prospects now.
And I mean, Glenn Godin. Once again, we're going back to episode 2. There's no shortage of talent on this team. Godin's a lifelong AHLer, and he has been that guy this year. He's been all reliable. Him, Malott, Hudon, Hicketts. I mean, now Saccone. I just named 5 guys that have played probably over 200 games in the American Hockey League.
Godin has 1 more year with the
He
Ring.
does have 1 more year at the Ontario Reign. Congratulations. We get 1 more year of the Godfather.
Yes, sir.
And we get 2 more years of Joe Hicketts. We didn't say that in the Zamboni cleaning.
Oh.
Joe Hicketts has signed a 2-year extension on a 2-way contract with the Los Angeles Kings. I knew we were missing something.
Before we hit record, we were going through like obviously the pod outline. You always gotta have an outline.
Of course.
This isn't top of our head, guys. Like, come on.
I wish.
And then Joe was like, "We're missing something," and I'm like, "I don't know what we're missing. I don't think we're missing anything."
Yep. Well,
Joe
that's
Hicketts.
what we're missing. Joe Hicketts, 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Locked up. That's your captain, folks. Don't stand up.
Captain Joe Hicketts.
Captain Joe. Yes.
We're going to the 0%.
Go.
My 0% this week, Tyler Madden, for scoring a goal against us, and then he didn't do his signature over the head Selly.
Just did the on one knee, by the way.
I didn't want to pick on Jacob Dvorak this week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even though we do have a Mayor's Manor article on Jacob Dvorak, or do we? Not yet. It might be in the works.
I posted one on the Hockey News.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wrong news source. Whoops. All right. Yeah, so that wraps up our rain weather report. Rain legend Tyler Madden at 0%. Godin at the 50 and Marty at the 100%. Next week for the Ontario Reign, a huge week for your Reign. This is right here in baseball terms, the September wild card race, quote unquote, or the division race, or whatever it might be.
Pennant race.
This is the pennant race. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. This is where divisions are won, divisions are lost. The Reign play the first place Colorado Eagles twice at home. And then they see them one more time towards the end of the year. Right now, Colorado is ahead of the Ontario Reign. I will give you standings in one moment, aka right now. All right, let's break into the standings. So no longer the big 5. We're going to go with the big 6. Big 6 fish sticks don't matter. Reign in 5. Yeah, all right, got it. That's going to be stuck in my head the rest of the week.
Oh, no.
Anyways, first place, Colorado Eagles at 82 points. Second place, Ontario Reign at 76. Abbotsford in third at 73. All 3 of those teams have played 61 games. They're 72 in an AHL season. Now, Coachella Valley at 73. Calgary at 71 have both played 62 games. San Jose in 6th at 60 games and 70 points. The top 6 separated by 12 points. This is the witching hour. Witching month, quote unquote. After that, gosh, it's just a boat race for the bottom. Tucson's at 63 points, Bakersfield at 61. That gap has closed. Before it was at 4 points last week. Henderson at 56, San Diego at 66. You can pretty much kiss their playoff hopes goodbye.
Yeah,
they're pretty much close on their way out. However, they got an uphill battle if they want to get in.
Yeah, you have two races right now going on. You have the Roadrunners and Condors who are
fighting for
the 7th seed, which whoever, if we're being honest, right? If the Reign get the 2 seed, which right now it's looking like they're going to be the 2 seed, doesn't mean that they cannot be the 1 seed. They definitely do have a chance, especially if they take both games at home versus Colorado.
Yes.
But with the way it's looking right now, it looks like Colorado might win the Pacific and the Reign are going to come in second. That 7th seed is going to be important because the Reign would play the 7th seed.
Yes.
Tucson Roadrunners, 63 points, 61 games played. Bakersfield Condors,
59 games played and 61
played.
points.
Yes, so that is going to be really interesting to keep an eye on because that's going to be important for the Reign for sure. The Reign play the Roadrunners on Wednesday night.
Correct.
So that has implications.
Yes.
And how many times do the Eagles play? Do they play someone before the Reign series?
The Eagles play 3 times this week. Let's break into next week's schedule. This is the whole Pacific Division, so you got to remember this. Wednesday night, the Ontario Reign take on the Tucson Roadrunners at 7 p.m. at Toyota Arena. Other games going on in the division. Holy smokes, I got to slow down. Colorado and Bakersfield at Mechanics Bank Arena. Colorado's got to win that game. Bakersfield's got to win that game if they want their shot at the playoffs. That's going to be a playoff-type game. Both teams are going to be scrapping at it. San Jose and San Diego. San Jose needs to win that game. San Diego needs to win if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's that simple. Friday, March 28th, the Reign do not play this game. Or do not play this day. Excuse me. Calgary and Bakersfield play. Tucson and San Diego race for the 7th seed. Milwaukee and Henderson play. Why? Who knows? And then Abbotsford and San Jose play. That is going to be a playoff level game. If you guys have Flow Sports and you can access all of the American Hockey League, that would be a game to tune into for certain on Friday night. Saturday night's all right for fighting. Shout out Elton John. Ontario Reign take on the Colorado Eagles at 6 p.m. What night is it?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a promotional night. I don't remember
Star
what
Wars?
it is. Bingo. Star Wars night, one of the most sold out nights at Toyota Arena. We hope to see you there. Other games going on in the division. There's 5 other ones. So buckle up for this one. Abbotsford and San Jose, another critical game. Coachella Valley and the Chicago Wolves. Okay.
Okay.
Go Wolves, I guess. Is Maxime Comtois on that team still? I don't know. Calgary and San Diego. Well, Calgary's got to win that game if they want to stay in that top 6 race. Milwaukee and Henderson play again. Cool. Tucson and Bakersfield. Just a game you want to see if you're racing for the 7th seed. That's going to be a playoff level game. You want to be looking at Colorado, Ontario, and Tucson and Bakersfield that night. And then Sunday, Ontario, Colorado again at 3 p.m. and Coachella Valley plays the Chicago Wolves. That game does not matter whatsoever. Big week ahead. It's kind of going to be the common theme these last 4 episodes, 4 weeks. It's going to be big time.
Not only is it going to be big time, the Reign really need to win that game on Wednesday versus the Roadrunners. Because, yes, those games versus Colorado, they're going to be important, right? But at the end of the day, you know, maybe getting the 1 seed isn't the most important thing in the world, especially when you consider the time off they're on. I mean, we saw the Firebirds. It almost hurt them last year. Obviously didn't. They went all the way to the finals. But they lost game 1 to Calgary and almost lost game 2. But the Canucks are right behind the Reign, man. Same amount of games played, and they're at 73 points. So if you lose game 1 to Tucson, and then you're kind of forced to win both versus Colorado, if you really want to stay in that 2 seed, that's going to be important. The Firebirds are also at 73 points, but they have a game on the Reign. So there is no gimmies. There are no guarantees. The Reign can easily fall out of a home ice advantage spot.
They can
within the next week, and certainly 2 weeks if the Reign decide to get cold. So
yeah, go cold is the only way. Anyways, so let's look into the rest of the year for the Ontario Reign because we're actually making good time on this podcast. March 26th versus Tucson. Saturday, March 29th versus Colorado. Sunday, March 30th versus Colorado. All right, April. Big time right here. Wednesday, April 2nd at San Jose. Then double dip the chip in Calgary at 12:30 and a 12 p.m. game, Pacific Daylight Time, Central Time, against the Calgary Wranglers. Or not Central, Mountain Time, excuse me. April 11th, April 12th, double dip the chip in San Jose. That's a huge week off for the Reign. They're going to get like 5 days off. That's the week you got to regroup. You got to prep for the playoffs. Marco Sturm's going to have to figure out his playoff lines, and he's going to have to roll out his best in that sort of series.
Yeah.
Because you're treating that like a playoff series. Then the Reign have 3 more games all at home. They play the Colorado Eagles, which at that point we could be deciding divisions at this point now.
Yeah.
Friday, April 18th versus the San Diego Gulls, and then Saturday, April 19th, fan appreciation night against the Abbotsford Canucks.
See, and even that can be a big game as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, San Diego really, the Reign got to win that game, but that doesn't do the standings it doesn't do any damage in the standings. Outside of that game and Tucson, every game can do colossal damage in the standings. Like, anything can happen now.
Need to win. Need to win. Man, it's gonna be a tough little stretch for the Reign here.
It's gonna be a fun end of the year. Let's just say that. We got all the episodes and all the stuff coming to you right here on the Make It Rain podcast. You can follow us over on all social medias at Make It Rain Pod on Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it might be. This has been a Mehls Media production. You can go right ahead and start checking out his articles over at Mayor's Manor. And I'm Joe O'Regan. That's Anthony Collazo. Thank you very much for watching this week's podcast. You already know the drill. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a great week. We will see you next Monday. And hopefully the Reign close the gap on the Colorado Eagles.